Good evening and welcome to the Congo Hour. Uh, I'm setting in for Trippy and Wayna tonight. Trippy and Wayna are sort of on some Memorial Day vacation, which they really deserve. They give up some 50 weeks of the year, and I don't know of many people that would give up their weekends to provide the information and service to the community, but they're dedicated to what they do. And I'm proud to be a part of them. And maybe if I talk a little bit tonight, I won't be accused of being asleep. So I'm not going to talk much longer. I'm going to introduce you to a great host. The host is a great, I'm the host, I guess, to a great guest who is going to provide again a great service to our community. It's people like this that make the community a community where you can appreciate some of the fun and some of the seriousness that we do through plays. And so, without any further ado, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself and tell folks just what you're about to do.
Okay, well, first of all, Mr. Congo, thank you for allowing us to be on the Congo Hour. You know, I love Sammy's corner, all the wisdom, so I feel so honored to be on
Thank you.
this evening. The play is called From Tears to Glory, The Stories of Our Lives. It's about 8 strangers who participate in a cultural awareness project, and they share their personal stories through a monologue presentations. Some of their personal stories involve domestic violence, being a mentor, being a community activist and a community leader, family relationships, husband and wife. What else?
Struggling with self-identity.
Yeah, colorism. So it's a whole combination of different issues that each character brings to the table. It's like giving testimony. And we know that it's going to be people in the audience that can relate to each character. So, we're excited. We did it back in February for Black History Month at the Women's and Senior Center. And so we were encouraged to bring it back. So we're looking forward to it June the 3rd, this Saturday, at the Women's and Senior Center for 2 shows, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. I'm the playwright as well as an actor in the play. I play the character of Tootie. He's a young man who's a physical fitness instructor. He falls in love with one of the characters, and he finds out about a family secret. So it's a great opportunity, just for everybody involved and being around an amazing cast of people. So I'll let some of the other cast members introduce themselves.
Well, I'm Katrina Watson. I play Gail Terry. She's a dark-skinned woman who struggles with being dark-skinned. She does not like her skin color. She thinks that every other skin color is better, that nobody likes her. And she grew up, having to go through the struggle, the fight, and the people disagreeing with her color, basically. But throughout the play, she learns and transitions into, appreciating herself. And, I can relate to that. So I enjoy playing her character, because I grew up the same way. But I love myself, man. Go ahead.
I'm Summer Rose, and I play Ebony Bay. And Ebony Bay is a strong, powerful, pro-Black, conscious sister who is out there fighting for the cause, fighting for the struggle. She, in the play, defends Gail, and she thinks nothing is better than being Black, being dark, embracing being Black. She also defends her boyfriend, Shaka Thomas. Hey, boo, I'm trying to get you out. She defends her boyfriend, Shaka Thomas, who's locked up in prison, and he was severely beaten by some prison guards. So she also stands up for our Black brothers going through the struggle as well. I like Ebony because, like I said, she's strong, she's outgoing, she's very outspoken, she's powerful, and she really brings it. Her character is really, Angela Davis, Nikki Giovanni, put your fatigues on, get your AK out. That's how she is, so I'm excited to play her.
Nice. Hello, my name is Demetrius Motion Bullock, and I play the character Ricky Flowers, or Pretty Ricky is what they call me in the play. My character, he displays his compassion for both his dark-skinned sisters, children, overall situations with the youth, what's going on. He encounters something very traumatic within the play. which kind of catapults him to the next phase of his life, and what he wants to do concerning the youth. You know, he has that side of him that feels that that the entitlement issue that a lot of our youth have today with all that they have in their possessions, but it still doesn't outweigh his compassion for children. So I'm excited to play the part and be amongst the cast.
My name is Maurice Chambers, and thank you, Mr. Congo, for having us on tonight. My character is Mr. Baker. He's hiding some issues from his family. He's got his heart broken a couple of times by some girls. And I can relate to having my heart broken a few times. And it's not fun, and I can relate to, being made fun of. I'm a short person, and I've always been short. I'm 5'4", and I've been that way ever since 6th grade. And I once had someone tell me I wasn't good enough because I was too short. But that's okay, though. And that did, kind of, set me back, broke my heart. And I would pass letters on like my character did. He passed a few letters on and got rejected again and made fun of. But again, Mr. Baker, he's a good guy. But like I said, he has some issues with family that he's keeping a secret from his family. And later on, gets estranged from him after he gives them that secret. But it's something that folk can relate to. Myself, it was a culture shock for me. But I'm an actor, so I can play my part and do my part as I'm required to do and going to do. And I'm going to make it good. I'm going to make it worthwhile. Just come see it. That's all I can tell. Come on out and see it.
I think that this play has all the relevance that requires a culture to understand itself and how we got there by disliking ourselves and who taught us to do that. And I think that this play that you guys should work hard and get some of the major banks or whatever to let you do these plays in the schools. I think that the schools need this more than anyone.
Oh, yes.
And it could light a candle that could stimulate awareness to all of our kids that are just doing crazy stuff because they have very little information about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I can relate to some of the things that all of you are talking about, but I learned that they were learned information that was negative. It's called negative identification.
Right.
And once you understand how important each of you are, or each of everybody is, and there is no good and bad people because you're just people. And anybody that understands culturally why we are the color that we are, it's just where you grew up.
Yes.
If you grew up in the equatorial zones, the good Lord above gave us melanin, and that color is melanin. They keep you from getting cancer and all kind of cool stuff. If you lived way away from it, you didn't need that, so the good Lord didn't give them melanin. But if it took melanin in the cold, they would be dark too.
Yep.
But it's the sun rays that we're trying to repel. And so that kind of information is very important that you share with people who have that stigma. Being short has absolutely nothing with. I remember my grandmother saying to me that she had all kind of stuff going for her, but she would say to that, it's not what you're called, it's what you answer to.
Yes.
And so if you have a attitude or you believe that being short puts you in a category, you're answering to it. But if you don't answer to that, it's just somebody making fun of themselves because they can't do what they went out to do to allow you to not feel. there's something that's called the pseudo-species declaration. So you understand, pseudo means false, species is people, but it's people who declare that they are the chosen people in the image of God. And so they make myths and rituals and stories that are positive about them. But we have to create myths and stories and create something that's positive about us to give us that we are the chosen people. And as long as we believe that skin has a benefit in terms of who's important and who's worthy of whatever it might be, we will always be where we are.
Yeah.
But we have to make sure that we understand and never use that for anybody, because it puts the other person in a negative identification. And we call stories and name calling and all that stuff to create that thing. So the kids in the school need to hear you guys. I think
Definitely.
that-
We would like to take it as many places as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even outside of Delaware, So this is our introduction to Wilmington Senior Center. But like I said, we want to try to take this, as many places as we possibly can, because, like I said, each character has a personal story that, the kids and adults can identify with. And when you talk about negativity, a lot of it's learned through social media or through the television. You may see a blonde with long hair that's skinny as the one that's being beautiful. So there are those who may lighten their skin to try to look at what the Americans said is beautiful. So you're exactly right that it must be taught at home.
See, that's a learned behavior.
Right. Exactly.
And you are taught that is beautiful.
Right.
And so if you believe that and you're taught that, that's where your values come in.
Right.
But if you're, I just think that is, but we have had nothing to combat that,
Wow.
but only through this kind of vehicle will people learn how crazy it is, because they'll hear people talking and they'll see your behavior and then explain to them
Yep.
just how stupid it is
Yeah.
to allow our folks shooting each other and allowing our neighborhoods to go down. We need to understand the importance of that. We need a play around that. We need a lot of plays. So you guys need to get real busy
Definitely.
and helping us to voting.
Exactly.
Voting, you got to get into that. You got to understand they're about to have a referendum now. And that referendum where people don't want to pay, that's crazy, because it has to do with your neighborhood and who's going to live beside you. And people aren't going to come to live behind you besides because the school system is bad. All those kind of things that you're doing to bring to the consciousness of people
Right.
is what, not policemen and all that stuff.
Okay.
That will never do it. Information that you all will deliver is what makes people become aware of the things that are happening to them and they don't even know it. So congratulations on your playwright.
Yes, definitely.
Now, is there a charge?
It's charged as $10 for adults and $7 for seniors and students.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a fundraiser with my production company and the Wilmington Senior Center. So we got the tickets at a reasonable doubt. It's for $10 for adults and $7 for children and seniors.
Where can they buy these tickets?
They can get at the center, or they can call the Senior Center at 302-651-3400. 302-651-3400. That's the Wilmington Senior Center. You can call and reserve your ticket.
It's on the board now, so
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay.
that's great. But it is
Okay.
wonderful that folks like yourself take the time to do great things like you guys are doing, giving your time, and that's all important. We need 1,000 of groups like you to bring to our consciousness
Right.
the importance of understanding our own people.
Right, and some of the things you're saying, that's what her character does. Evan,
Yeah, do a lot of
she brings it. Yeah.
awareness for our people, politically, culture-wise, personal development-wise. I go into again the black struggle the struggle of the black man, some of the things that they have to go through, especially those who are incarcerated, and how they're deprived from providing for themselves and for their families. How when you come out of prison, you have a background, and it's hard for you to seek employment, hard for you to find housing, hard for you to even decide to vote. I speak on that a little bit. I speak on how some of our brothers and sisters have turned on other blacks because they now have moved to the suburbs, and they think now that they're too good, and they forget where they come from. So I'm there to remind them where they came from. So yeah, I touched a little bit on a lot of the conscious black awareness things that, I'm from Kirkwood Street, 9th and Kirkwood to be exact. And I know coming up, it wasn't as bad as it is now, but coming up, we had some of our community black struggles, and you just have to be, again, aware of your surroundings, aware of other people around you, and really pay attention to what's going on in your own community, going on within, the school system in your community, as you were saying, Mr. Congo. And, it takes a village. And for us here in Wilmington, it takes a whole city, not just a village, it takes the whole city. So I really promote unity and togetherness among our black community. So.
Well, what you said is true. It takes the whole city to turn this around to where we are. Our schools have been taken.
Yes.
Our jobs have been taken. And without education and going into a foreign land to get your education isn't the best thing for people. People will not come to us. We have to go to them and go by their rules and regulations. And sometimes many of us aren't prepared for them. So I think this kind of introduction, and maybe our community will be aware enough, if enough plays come out, to begin to get out there and understand how important each of them are, so that we can band together to get our schools back, to get our communities back, to have value for your community, and understand what it takes to make that community strong. And it only is going to happen through people like you all, who are out there through plays, and sometimes people, jokes and laughing, but sometimes it rings a bell. And I think you all will be able to do more and more of that, and I think you need to write a whole heck of a lot more plays. But they need to be in the schools. I think that the schools is where it breaks down, and our kids don't even know why they're going to school. And I think that we need a play to show that there is a definite need to go to school if you're going to be successful. And everybody wants to be successful, but they don't know how. So the roles that they see that seem to be successful in their community is what they head for, and it's nothing but trouble, because people who could be in the roles have moved out, and that has a definite effect on us as a people.
Definitely.
This is true.
Well, some may moved out, but I guess in a sense, if they come back, at least to give knowledge and wisdom to try to help those, further their education and their dreams and aspirations of what career they may have, is a good thing as well.
Yeah, I really believe that at one time there was a flight, but I think now that we have been re-educated, that there is a tremendous amount of people that want to help, that are moving back actually, and that they are still hindered by youth who have no hope, and they find their hope in people that they shouldn't, but it's based on what the powers to be allow them to see. And if those kinds of things were, we had a opportunity in Wilmington to have a port, so I hear. And that port would hire some 20,000 people, all of them making over $100,000 a year. And we were denied that. so that there would be a class of people that would be living in the city that could have decent jobs, that could have pride, and that was denied, and the kinds of what would you call it, bond raising and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, we I think there was a bond for $1 billion in the Middletown area to just build a road.
Wow.
And just think, $1 billion compared to 600 million to give 20,000 people jobs. And where are the values? And we got to know that and understand it. And how do we prevent that from happening to us? So
Definitely. Yeah.
I think what you're doing is great. And I could go
Yeah.
on. This is the kind of things that, as you know, on Sammy's Corner,
You got the wisdom, that's what
I love
it.
to
I
talk
love it.
about.
So I'm here in person to get the wisdom.
But it's you guys that are going to make the changes, not guys that's on his way out the door. It's so many years that, and you have to persevere it. You have to stick with it for the rest of your life. Make a commitment that you're going to educate seniors to come out and vote. You're going to educate people in the community to come out and vote,
Yeah.
so that the communities can be enhanced by people like yourselves. And the commitment toward that has to be strong. It has to be real strong. It's almost like joining the army, you know.
I wouldn't know.
Well, is there any shout outs that you want to give to anybody
Well, I
tonight?
just want to remind everybody to come out next Saturday, June the 3rd, at the Wilmington Senior Center for 2 shows, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. 1901 North Market Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19802. From Tears to Glory, the stories of our lives. Tickets are only $10 for adults and $7 for seniors and students. Anybody else got anything?
I just want to say that everybody's watching on my side and my family. Y'all know this is what I do. Follow me, stay tuned. This is what we do. Omar is an awesome writer. So I want to see you on Saturday at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, whichever one. But yes, I want to see you on Saturday. Follow us.
I want to give a shout out to my awesome cast members, firstly. I am honored, privileged, delighted, and excited to be working alongside with such great talent, and I hope that you all are able to join us on June 3rd, either at 2 p.m. or at 7 p.m., 1901 North Market Street at the Wilmington Senior Center. We look forward to having you there, and I think that you'll take home something a little different than what you came in with. You'll leave changed, trust me. Your whole mindset will be changed. I'd like to give a shout out to my family. I'd like to give a shout out to my line dancers, simply stepping in sync. Whoop, whoop. Still kicking it. You know, I line dance. So again, please come out and support Omar, who's an awesome local playwright. We got to start, you know, supporting our local talent here in Wilmington. Come on, y'all. There's a lot of talent. I know there's talent in New York. I know there's talent in Philly. But we have talent right here in our own city. Wilmington, a place to be somebody, right? I remember that was a slogan, right?
That's
so come
right.
on out June 3rd and join us.
Wow, how you top that? Huh? Pretty Ricky here. I just want to say, want to give a big shout out to my cast. Thank Mr. Congo for allowing us the opportunity to come on the show and talk about the upcoming play. Again, 1901 Market Street, right, Wilmington, Delaware, 2 to 7, 2 and 7, and just come on out. You will get something out of this performance. Thank you so much. Support the arts.
Well, I don't know how to top that. I just want to give a shout out to everybody that I text, called, and told you about it. To watch me on TV tonight. Brown is in the house. That's what I can tell you. So to my church family, Joshua Harvest, I know you out there and I know you watching. Pastor D, where you at, my brother? So I'm giving you a shout out today. So now you can't say I ain't shout you out. Yes, I did. But to my cast, to my family here, it's awesome. And I love each and every one of you. To this awesome writer right here, Mr. Congo had shed some wisdom to us tonight.
Yes.
And we need to eat that up.
And I am.
We
I'm
need to
already.
heed that call. We need to take it to the schools. We need to take it wherever. We want to go to Hollywood. We want to go to Merriam Theater. We want to take it as far as we can take it, Mr. Congo. Yes, we do. But like you said, we need to get into the schools. We need to touch those minds in the school and the young ones. We got to let them know, hey, this is what it's about. You know, come on, join the theater if you need to. If you need to learn how to vote, hey, we need to get a message out, get them to vote.
Yes,
That's
very
right
important.
about that.
Very
Right about,
important.
hey, get the
Yes.
vote out and let's get in the schools. Each and every one of these cast members has a part, has said something powerful, and I love them. And this one right down here, oh, Miss Rose, oh, hey, Angela Davis. Yes, yes.
Power to the people.
Hey, that's
Say it
girl.
loud.
That's it,
I'm
girl.
black and I'm
Say
proud.
it, girl. Say it. All right. So, but anyway, that's what we need to do. We need to get this message out there. And please come out and support us on June the 3rd at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Yes.
at the Wilmington Senior Center. And I know I will see your face in the place.
That's right.
We got to give a shout out to the other cast members that's not here too. You know.
And other cast members
Oh,
that on
yes.
here. So
That make
whoever
it
they are, they're not here. So we shout you out. So remember, Wednesday night, make sure you're in the place for rehearsal. All right?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Congo. We appreciate
Well,
it.
I'm going to say that I'm going to keep Cherry busy
Okay.
because the first 10 people that call 652-8887 will receive a ticket. So we're
great.
donating 10 tickets, and then we will also be there.
All right, thank you. I
So
appreciate
if we can, I'm not sure
Okay.
what our schedule is, but
Okay.
I
Wow.
think it has that kind of
yeah,
value. And I think that the other thing that I think you need, and I can talk to you about it later, is a salesperson, because it takes money to make these things work.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
That's
so
right.
you need to get this bank sponsoring or some of these big law firms
Right.
to
That's
put
what I'm
in the kind of money that allows you to get to the Miriam Theater.
Definitely.
And so we'll talk about that because, you know, at my age, I'm still watching the clock, and all I got is I don't worry about money now. I worry about time
I heard that.
and everything that I can do for this community, who has been great to me and my family. I want to do everything I can to promote anything and everybody to make them successful so that we can have a better community. And I really thank you for coming on our show.
I thank you for the opportunity.
I would never have known about this,
Oh,
but
okay.
now I know about it, and I want to help out wherever I can, and
Okay.
I want to talk to you about some of the people that I know that could possibly
Great.
help to
That'd be
finance projects like this, and then maybe you can help somebody else.
Definitely, definitely.
My grandmother taught me something a long time ago. She said, when you learn, teach. And when you get, give. And that's my motto now. Whatever I learn, I want to teach it.
Pass on that.
And whenever I got something, I want to give it. So thanks again.
right.
And we're going to
Thank
take a quick break, and then we'll be right back for Sammy's Corner.
All right.
Welcome back to the Congo Hour and the Sammy's Corner portion of the Congo Hour. I'm so excited about our guests that just left here, and their focus on trying to get us to understand who we are and the responsibilities that we have as a people. And every socioeconomic group people stress and make sure that their socioeconomic group keeps strength and they have pride in their socioeconomic group, and that it's a continuing process of whatever ethnic group that might be. And I'm excited about this group, and I would like to see 100 more group people do just what they are trying to do, and to point out the importance, because once this has been established and we begin to have a trend where we take the advantage of opportunities that are presented to us, our jails won't be filled anymore, our social workers will be reduced, our communities will be improved, and all the above that says that we are a thriving and growing community with wisdom, education, employment opportunities, will be provided for those people that have been very successful in accomplishing these goals, and there will be less violence because there won't be the people who have little hope and faith. There'll be more people with hope, and there'll be more people with faith, and more people that will believe that they have and are worthy of a position here in America and a reason to live. So it is through this kind of group that you had an opportunity to hear what the play is going to be all about. They have to be sponsored. We have to understand that we have to get away from the free mentality and begin to say, we've got to pay for this. And everybody that I know has paid for what I call their freedom. And our freedom will depend on how we behave and how we vote. Very important. Our political responsibilities, our political awareness is what we're really need to begin to develop, a strong awareness of politically what we must do. We cannot depend on other people to vote for us. We have to vote for ourselves, and we need to talk to other people so that we vote in a method that people respect us. We have to vote in neighborhoods that we know who we want to put in. There's no guess who's going to be represented in our community. It is thought through for years before the vote even takes place, with an understanding of that individual who will represent you. And when they fail to do that, do something about it. And keep doing that until you come up with the right people. Educate your children around voting. Educate your neighbors who don't vote. They are all very important. And the last time I was on, I was talking about the train. Come on, get on board the train. And that's what we're going to be talking about as we move forward on Sammy's Corner. We're going to talk about that train that's going to take us to freedom. Not freedom from anything, but freedom from the kinds of oppressions that are placed on us because we do absolutely nothing. And believe the change is going to take place. It is not going to take place as long as we just sit home in the rocking chair and do nothing. Thank you very much for Sammy's Corner. Cherry tells me that I've got to quit right now because I talk too much, but I have so much emotion in me about things that we all have to do that I could talk until tomorrow morning. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with our funeral notices and our community news. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next week.